in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make your own Easter egg applique. Hello, my name's Karen Stangram and welcome to Conquer Crochet, the channel for tips, tricks and techniques for conquering your crochet. Everything I talk about in today's video will be linked in the descriptions below. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss a single stitch. So if you're keen to get going with this video, give me a thumbs up and let's do this. So to make these applique Easter eggs, I'm going to be using Patterns cotton, 100% cotton. This comes in a lovely range of colours, some lovely blues, you can get nice oranges and nice pinks as well. So I've used blue, yellow and pink here, which are my favourite branding colours, I suppose. So today I'm going to be using the yellow one for the demonstration. It's a double knit cotton, so I'm going to be using a 4mm hook. I have my needle for sewing in my ends and my scissors for cutting off my ends. So I'm going to start off by making a slip knot. You can do this in whichever way you prefer. And I'm going to chain 7. Making sure your slip knot's not too tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And then going to chain 1 chain to turn. And I'm going to double crochet in the second chain from the hook, so not the one on the hook. So I'm going to go 1, 2, I'm going to make a double crochet, that's UK terminology, double crochet, that would be single crochet in US, and I'm going to crochet all the way back down that chain in double crochets. And into the last one there. I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the first stitch, so 1 and 2. This is for our increasing, and then going to make 5 single double crochets, if that makes sense. So I had 2 in here, so I'm going to do 1 in there, 1 in there, 1 in there, 1 in there, 1 in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And I'm going to make 2 double crochets in that final stitch there, making sure I go through both parts of the stitch, that extra security. So that's 1 double and the second double. So already you can see it's starting to curve along the sides here, so it's starting to make that shape. I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to make 2 doubles in the next stitch. 1, 2, and then I'm going to double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then 2 crochets, double crochets in the last stitch. And again I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the first stitch because we're still increasing for that egg shape. Then I'm going to do a double crochet in the next 9 stitches. So each time our rows increase by 2, we've increased the number of double crochets we're doing across. Oops. There you go. That's 8, that's 9, and we do 2 doubles in the last stitch. That's 1 and that's 2, and we do it again. So chain 1, turn our work, we do 2 doubles in the first stitch, then we double in the next 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, and 2 in the last one, and our last row of increases, going to chain 1 and turn, and this time I'm going to do 2 in the first stitch and 13 double crochets across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, and then 2 in the last stitch of the row. And that brings us to the end of our increases. So we've got the bottom part of the egg here. We're now going to sort of level out a bit here. So the next next row from row 7, so we've just done row 6, from row 7 to 12 we're just going to double crochet along. So you chain 1 to turn, double crochet in every stitch along, and then when you get to the end, remember only to do 1 crochet in that final stitch, because we have stopped doing the increases and we're now just leveling off to make the sides of the Easter egg pattern. So this is row 7. You've got 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 to do in exactly the same way as this row 7. Chain 1, turn your work, work your way across and double crochet all the way along. So that's row 7. Chaining 1, turning my work, only 1 double crochet in that first stitch, and carry along, and I will see you back here at the end of row 12. So pause the video now. Okay, so I'm just coming up to the end of row 12. So we've done our increases on rows 1 to 7, and then row 7 to 12 we have just done straight across to give us the side part of our Easter egg. So now we're going to work the top part. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work, and then going to do 2 double crochets together. So double crochet, 2 tog is often what you see it written as. So to do that I'm going to insert into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, insert into the second stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull pull through all 3 on my hook. I'm then going to double crochet 1 double crochet in each of the stitches going down this row. Oops. And unlike the previous rows where we've done matching at the same end, we're not going to do that on this one. So we just start off with double crochet 2 together, then we double crochet all the way down the line, and I think that must be 15 stitches as we come down this row here. Now obviously if you want to make yours smaller, you can use exactly the same pattern but use a smaller crochet hook. So I'm using a number 4 here, so you might want to use a 3.5 or even a 3 or a 2.5 depending how small you would like yours to be. So crocheting all the way to the end. I'm not going to double crochet the last 2 together. So I'm going to start the next row, which is row 14, by chaining 1 and turning my work, and then we're going to double crochet this side together. So 2 double crochets together. So again it's insert through that first stitch, yarn over, pull the yarn through. You have 2 loops on your hook. Do not yarn over, go into the next stitch. Now we yarn over and pull back through that stitch. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and that just pulls those 2 stitches a little bit closer together to give us, as you can see on this side, it's just starting to curve back in again. Okay, so as we did with the previous row, we're going to go into the next stitch with a double crochet, and we're going to double crochet all the way down the row. Feel free to pause the video at any time if you need to catch up, if I'm crocheting a bit too fast. I know some of you are faster crocheters and you can kind of keep up, and others want to pause, get to the end of the row. There is also the option on YouTube videos to slow the videos down, so if you find that useful, please go into the settings on this video and you have the option there to slow it down. So I got to the end of this row and I'm not going to do my 2 together, I'm just going to do a double crochet in the last one. Okay, now for the next row we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. I'm going to start my row with a double crochet 2 together, and pull through all 3 of those. In this row we are going to double crochet 2 together at the end of this row, so we're going to double crochet in the next 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. You should be left with 2 stitches at the end, and we're going to double crochet 2 together with these 2 stitches. So insert, yarn over, pull through, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 on your hook. So that is row 15. Row 16 is exactly the same. So yarn over, start off with 2 double crochets together, but obviously we're now 2 short, so 11 double crochets in the previous round. In this one we're going to have 9 because I got 2 less. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8 and 9. We're left with our last 2 stitches, which we're going to double crochet 2 together. Okay, now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and repeat the same process, two double crochets together at the beginning and the end, and this time we've got 7 stitches in the middle, so 1 and 2. Now our 7 stitches, so 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then our last 2 stitches we double crochet 2 together. Chain 1, turn our work, 2 double crochets together, or double crochet 2 together, sorry. Now we've got 5 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, double crochet 2 together for the last 2 in that row, chain 1, turn our work, again double crochet 2 together to start, and this time we're just going into the 3, so we're going to go 1, 2 and 3, double crochet 2 together at the end of that row. So you can really see the shape starting to come together. So on the next row now, this is row 20, so I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. In the first stitch I'm going to make a double crochet. In the next stitch I'm going to do a half treble, so yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 3 on your hook. In the next stitch I'm going to do 2 trebles, so in the same stitch, so yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. So that's 1, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. In the next stitch we're going to do a half treble, so insert, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on our hook, and then the last stitch I'm going to do a double crochet, so insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2, and I'm also going to do a slip stitch in the same stitch as that double crochet, so I'm going back in, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the 1 on my hook. So it's sort of getting egg shaped, we're almost there. What we're going to do now is to double crochet around the outside twice. You can do it once, but when you do it twice it starts to curl up, and actually if you pop that curl round you get an almost sort of 3-dimensional feel. So if you're wanting to hang these up as garlands, they look quite nice when you've got that sort of little bit of a 3D feel to them. If you're wanting to put this on a card you could just crochet around once. Now you'll notice that my eggs are slightly smaller. I did these ones with a 2.5mm crochet hook, I think, or might have been a 3. So it's quite a bit different to the 4mm, but what you could do is actually stick a small one, or sew a small one, into the centre of your different colour. So that would look quite nice as well as a different feature. So to double crochet around the outside, it's a bit tricky because you don't have sort of stitches necessarily to go into. So I usually just try and find a gap that looks like it could be a stitch, and I make a double crochet. There's another gap there, I'll go into that one there. Obviously if it looks like it's too far apart, then maybe just add an extra one in somewhere. It's a little bit of a trial and error coming around here, but you should be able to get into a gap underneath each row. So there's a gap here for that row, there's a gap here for the next row, and a gap for the next row, and a gap for the next one, and just work your way around the entire egg with double crochet. And when you've got round to back to the beginning of your egg, stop and I will show you what to do next. So pause the video now. So when you're coming to the end, don't forget we need to double crochet over that last section. So double crochet into the double and the half treble and the treble and the other treble and the half and the double. I'm not going to crochet into the slip stitch, but I am going to go into the next stitch because I'm going to double crochet all the way around the egg again. Just gives it that proper eggy shape, and also, as I said earlier, it helps you with that sort of 3D-ness if you're wanting to hang these up, or maybe if you want them on cards you might want to put sticky sponge things underneath them to raise them off the card a little bit, give you a little bit of three-dimensional element. So double crochet all the way around the outside of your egg, and I'll catch you back at the end. So pause the video now. Okay, so just coming up to the end of that round now. And I'm going to go through, pull back, slip stitch, and then fasten off at the ends. If you wanted to keep going around with those double crochets, you'd end up with even more of a curve on your egg. And now it's just a case of sort of pulling it into your egg shape really. It's almost there, but you might just want to pull it a little bit more just to give it more of that eggy shape. One of the things you could do is to crochet some letters. So you could have Happy Easter. So make one with an H, one with an A, and then PPY, and then obviously the letters for Easter, and you can make a nice little garland with those. Or you could have initials of people in your family if you wanted to have a nice family piece of bunting. As I said before, you could make them smaller and you could have them inside. You could also make some little flowers that could go around to decorate your Easter egg. Putting your flowers on in multiples of odd numbers always looks better than putting them on multiples of sort of 2. Always looks a bit strange, but 3 always looks okay. Or you could just have one on there, looks rather sweet. You could also have a big one in the middle, and then you could have smaller ones on the outside if you're making a garland. So you could string them up with the bigger one in the middle, and then some smaller ones, or you could have big one, small one, big one, small one, depending on what you wanted to do. I really hope you found today's tutorial useful. If there are any information that you need to find out about this video, have a look in the descriptions below where I post all the links to any freebies and other videos I think you might find useful. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed this video, to give me a thumbs up below. Don't forget also to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you've enjoyed it and you'd like to see more of my tutorial videos. There are 2 other videos on screen to help you on your crochet journey, and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and happy hooking!